Good morning. I'm a little bit upset because my first video got deleted. I don't know where it is. So let's try this again. My first question, what are 2 to 3 key learnings from this course and how have they informed and challenged your vision for and beliefs about teaching? My first key learning is the history of education. I had learned before about like IDEA and that type of history, but I had never gone this far back, and I was really surprised to see how it all started, with only upper class males being able to go to school to become our future leaders, and girls going to the neighbor's house and learning in the kitchen. So all of that was very surprising, and just how it all has evolved since then. And what I take away from that is that it's just slowly including more people, and it feels like we really haven't gotten that far because we're still figuring out how to include everyone in the classroom. Like, we're still evolving. So that was one of my key learnings, and that was kind of mind-blowing moment. My next big learning is the Colorado academic standards. I had heard of them, and I knew of them, and I thought that going to school was going to teach me how to, put those into your classroom, how to use them. So just the more I learn about it and everything that a teacher is supposed to teach their students, the scarier it is, because it's basically, like we talked about in class, it's just a destination, and it's an end result, and no one ever gives us the journey. So that's one of my key learnings. I need to figure out how to get to the end result, and probably we're not going to learn much about that in schooling. So that was another key learning for me. And then the last is the teacher quality standards. This I had never heard of. I didn't even know it existed. And I have always been a huge believer of assessments, because I've had terrible teachers with my kids, and I believe that teachers should be assessed. You should have to prove yourself before you ruin a student's life. So luckily I've always been involved, so it's never happened to me, but I've also been a para for teachers that just don't do enough with the kids, and it breaks your heart because their whole careers now, they're going to be behind for the rest of it. That's what made me come into the teaching profession. So the teacher quality standards and how they are assessed, it's definitely lacking. Like, I think that it needs to be redone and include more and be more like spur of the moment, not letting teachers, plan a lesson and go through that lesson. And it also needs to take into account that there are new teachers, so that new teachers aren't the only ones getting hurt, because that shouldn't be. I feel like new teachers are great because they have this drive and this, they want to work so hard. It's like the older teachers that are not as great. So those are my 3 key learnings. And next question is, based on your current understandings and skills and what you understand about the expectations for teachers, what is one area of professional strength? This was the hardest question for me. It's hard to think about your strengths. But I have to go with my age. I'm not young. I'm not straight out of college. I've already had a degree. I've already had a career. I've raised 3 kids. I know what I want. I've known for years what I want my teachers to look like for my own kids. And then getting into the paraprofessional field, I also know what I want for myself, what I believe a teacher should look like. So that's my biggest strength, is I do understand what a great teacher is. Like, even you this semester, I recognize strong teachers. So I feel like that's my strength, just realizing that and, letting that be my goal. I know it's not going to be easy and it's scary and hard, but that is definitely what my strength is. Third, based on your current understandings and skills and what you understand about the expectations for teachers, what is one area of professional growth and why? So it kind of piggybacks off the last one. That's my strength. I want to be a good teacher. But for my professional growth, what I learned about culturally relevant pedagogy, that's what I want to grow at. I want my classrooms to be relevant to my students. I want my students to be engaged. So just to go along with some of the readings, Gloria Ladens, I'm going to buy her book, by the way, but anyway, there's something that I read that's good teaching, and they wanted her to put a finger on good teachers and what exactly they're doing, and basically what she had said is, you can't. There's no magic way to be a great teacher. It's just hard work. It's just good teaching. It's all around good teaching, and that's what I want to strive for. So, also in presuming competence, there was a quote that sat with me all semester. And it said, where the participation of the student in the heart of the classroom is a given, not an experiment, and not conditional, and where participation amounts to more than mere physical presence. So it's not just a student filling a chair. That's what I want my classroom to be like. I want it to be relevant. I want it to be engaging. I want to reach every student. I want it to be inclusive. So there's where I want to grow. Last, what are 2 goals you have for developing your skills and habits of mind to make the most of your future coursework in teaching and learning? And what are some practical steps you might take to develop such skills and habits of mind? So my first one, I'm not even sure if this is what you're looking for, but this has sat with me and I feel like it's worth mentioning, is this whole semester understanding that everyone has biases, however you say it, built into us. And that's something that you deny in the beginning. And you said something last week, everybody has it. It's not the same as discrimination. So with that being said, I want to recognize those biases that I have. And I know I can't recognize them only as a teacher, but I want to learn how to recognize them so that I can, work around them and better myself as a teacher. And then the second is I am old school. So while that was a strength, it's also a weakness when it comes to learning. I'm from an era where you drilled information into yourself to study for a test. My spelling words, I wrote them 15 times every single week, and I'd get 100% on my test. And I did math fact sheets. So I need to use the book, Making Thinking Visible, and reteach myself how to think. So then I can be able to teach my students how to think and not just use the whole drilling and cramming. So that's another area that I need to learn, is how to study and how to learn thinking strategies. And luckily I have a great book to look at and to help me. And I will also, copy from some of my professors, because now I realize that they have been using those strategies in the classroom and lead by example. So my first video was much better. But thank you. Thank you for a wonderful semester. Thank you for being a role model. You're a great teacher. It's a heavy weight it should be on every teacher's shoulders, because I can't wait to do it. So thank you for everything.